Hello everyone.
Hey guys, today we're here with Knife Skills 101. Kristin's going to demonstrate how to cut an onion. We're hoping she won't cry during this, but you can't see her face, so it's good. As she cuts things and she saves all the skin and the peels and everything for stock, it's really good. You can make chicken stock or veggie stock or beef stock. You can reduce it down, throw it in your freezer so you'll have it, or you can just make soup or whatever you want. So first she is cutting the onion. She keeps the core on. Show them the core, or that part. Keep it on, it'll hold the onion together. And then she's using her hand to hold the knife, hold the onion, but you can see how she's holding it flat so she doesn't cut into herself. She's making little cuts into it so she gets little dices. And then she takes the onion and then she cuts long way to make the other half of the dice. And then you just go down and see how you get these nice little squares of onions. Make sure you keep your hands curled. So if you do cut, you won't cut into a finger. You'll just kind of graze your knuckles and you can't cut that. You want to show them all your little dices up close? See, nice little dices. It's one of the first things you learn in culinary school. You spend days dicing vegetables. All right, next she's going to do it with a red onion. A red onion will be easier to see because you can see the red versus the white. All right, so this time she's going to julienne it. I love to cut onions this way. It's faster. You get a nice thin slice. These are great for putting on sandwiches, burgers, salads. You can pickle these. You can do anything you want with it.
The key is to have a really sharp knife. I always do this cut just to see how thin I can get them. That's always my goal, is to try to do it as thin as possible. It's a little game I play with myself when I am cooking.
And she's not crying, guys. So there's her nice julienne.
No tears.
No tears. That's her nice julienne red onion. Now she's going to matchstick her carrots. She saves the little ends for soup or stock or whatever. One of the tricks to the trade, you save all your little ends for stock. So now she's cutting it as thin as she can. And she made a flat bottom so it wouldn't roll on her. If you didn't notice, she cut one side off and then put that side down. See, and then she keeps turning it so she has a flatter side so it won't roll on you. All right, show them how thin it is. See, it's nice and thin. You could do stuff with that as you could bake that off. You could throw it into things, pastas or something like that. Or you can then continue to cut them even smaller. So these are nice little matchstick carrots. As you can see, she keeps her fingers curled under. She works nice and fast. She's not, talking, jumping around or anything like that. These are great. You can cut them thicker if you wanted them for like crudité, or you could cut them again into little dices if you wanted to put them in, say, pot pie or soups. You can really just play around with this. A lot of times when you first start out, you rarely do spend days cutting vegetables into different things, and they literally pick them out and say, not good, not good, this is better. If you can't do this, then you never graduate.
And you fail.
And you fail.
You can also cut them on a bias.
Yep. It's time. We got time on our hands. Grab some carrots, grab some whatever, and practice.
The key is to keep that knife nice and on the cutting board and use that rocking back and forth motion.
Think of it as a train wheel. The train, they're all connected, but they kind of go all together. You just don't want that tip to move. Kristin, what style knife do you like to use most?
I'll use a chef's knife. I always use about an 8 to 10 inch chef's knife. Anything bigger is too much.
There's all sorts of knives. There's chef knives like that. We have some other ones. Here's this one. All right.
This is what's the style? Like a cleaver style?
Japanese. And then they also have Japanese knives with the flat end. That's my favorite because I like to be able to use the end for other things, like picking things up off of plates and stuff like that. We don't have one here today, but maybe next week.
So we'll do some garlic. The best way to do this, we get this already peeled, but you'll have it on a thing. But I usually just take that knife, use the palm of your hand to smash it down, and then chop it. Because then it's already going to have some of that oil out, and it's going to be easier to chop into smaller pieces. But you just want to keep moving it into a pile. Some chefs will add a little bit of salt to give it a little bit more texture. I don't think that's necessary.
Or you can do like we do here at the Root Cellar and put a ton of it in a food processor and just grind it up.
Another thing that you can just do the slices. We also have ginger in one of the recipes we're doing today. If it's a young ginger, you don't really need to peel it. If it's an older, really gross one, you do. This one, the skin's really soft, so we don't necessarily have to peel it. You can do slices, you can do julienne, you can have a thing called a microplane, which makes it easier to grate. You just take that over it. I would highly recommend one of these in your kitchens. They're so much easier. It's really good with garlic also, when you only have like one or two pieces of garlic that you want to do.
One thing you can do with your ginger, so it comes in those big chunks. Buy it and you can throw it in your freezer, and you can also grate it frozen. At home, we always make sure we have frozen ginger in our freezer, or you can throw it in oil, then it'll last longer. But in your refrigerator, it doesn't last that long. It starts to get sticky and nasty.
Right, so go ahead and just grate a whole bunch of it, throw it in a couple cube trays or just in a plastic bag and flatten it out, freeze it.
And then you always have fresh ginger.
You always have fresh ginger. What else do we need to show?
Celery.
Some celery.
Just chop it. Always keep your workstation clean. You see Kristin is like moving things around and stuff like that. It's much easier if you work nice and clean.
I wouldn't call this clean, but
Well,
clean enough.
clean enough. Clean enough for demos. All right, so now we're just cutting up some celery. The easiest way is to cut it down the middle, because then it's a little more flat. And then from there you can chop it. You can use it for crudité. You can use the small dice for soups or casseroles or things like that. You can have bigger dices for like pot pie. In salads, it's always nice. Celery, I feel, is an underrated vegetable. We never use it a lot, but we should. It's good. It's great in salads. It's great, obviously, in chicken salad, soups, casseroles. Just eating it on your own. It's always great with peanut butter on top. Not fluff, just peanut butter.
We are going to make a celery salad today in one of our demos, so you'll be able to use that. But celery and parsley, two of my favorite things. I think that's it.
All right, that's it for our knife demo. Hopefully you guys will practice, and then we can all have a knife skills class. You can see who has been practicing on theirs. Kristin and I promise to practice our double unders if you practice your knife skills. Thank you guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Bye.